That heifer right there just don't even care.
You're so fast.
What do you say, folks?
Try this again.
We'll try it again. Over here, pushing my buttons. I reckon the intro went through on it, but hope everybody's having a wonderful evening this evening on this Lord's Day
My potato is on
so far. Let's see, DC.
Russell Raymond's in here. Mr. Todd. It's hot here too, Todd. I promise it's hot.
Yes. I don't even know what the temperature was today. It was a heat advisory, and that was enough for us. It's probably, I don't know, it's about, the actual temp was probably about 94, 95, I imagine. The heat index, it was probably up in the 100 and something other. But
Chris and Lee come in. Oh, Todd said it's 110 there right now.
well,
He probably got us beat by a couple degrees. Only 30% humidity.
that's what I'm gonna say. That man got
blessings, buddy.
Got that
That's awesome.
low humidity. Our humidity, it's probably about 90, 95% at least right now as we speak. Who else? Good evening, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming in and chit-chatting.
Might not be a super long show tonight.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Lee, that rain, I was talking to Johnny a few minutes ago, I say probably about an hour and a half ago, and I was telling him, well, brother, the rain's fixing to move in here on us, but it sounds crazy in a way. Typically, during our seasonal showers that we get down here, mostly summertime, we're going to get, for the most part, a shower every other day or so. But y'all, it's crazy. We can watch a line coming in on that radar and think, all right, we fixing to get it. But for some reason in our area, and we've talked to the old timers that's been living down here their whole lives, and I said, well, about maybe a 3-mile radius around us, which we have a bunch of trees and forest land, if you will, but there are a whole bunch of open fields in our area. But you can watch that doggone rain do this number.
It just breaks up.
It'll go around us.
The old timers used to say that it was because of the heat out in fields would kind of just push it all the way around.
I don't know. It's been rumbling and same thing around us, but it ain't rained yet. Which I ain't gonna complain. The last couple of days, well, last week, I think we got right at 4 inches of rain in 2 days. And don't get me wrong, we could use a little bit of a break. Dances in mountains and hilltops do that too. I reckon like I say, we've talked to many of the old timers, and they say it's done as long as they can recall living around here the same way, and we just go with it. Whatever the good Lord gives us, we'll take. Who else we got in here? When the comments are delayed on my end.
Miss Lee and Mr. Dan Weaver came in, and Daisy's Honey, and 3 Boys Bees, and Keith Spillman.
Awesome.
I was hoping Mr. Larimore might come in and give us an update on his improvements.
Yes, yes,
Still praying for him for sure. But Lord, it was good to hear that news he had in the chat the other night. I think
absolutely.
it was Philip pointed it out in the comments. Would you stop
Yeah, Philip there at
now?
RTX. It was on. I think it was on Charlie's Eye Friday night.
Yeah.
We were kind of chit chatting back and forth with Keith over there at Larimore, and anybody that hasn't heard or you're new to watching us this evening, Larimore Farms,
He had a pure miracle happen. I'm sure most of y'all saw it in the chat. Most everybody's over there, but he he put in there that he had read an article to his wife. And if y'all been following, knowing what's going on with him, you know what a miracle that was for that man to be able to do that.
sure was. He'd been having fits for a while, and they've done them so many surgeries, and in one of the last reports, they said he got some of his vision back, and like she said, he take and read. He read a little old paragraph to his wife the other day, so we're gonna give God the glory for that.
Yeah.
And everybody out there that's ones of you that's been doing your little old prayer list with us, and are just simply praying for everybody. It works, y'all. It works. But kind of hoping maybe he'll pop in here in a little bit. Maybe he can
Jasper, I'm
give us an update on on how things are, for Lord willing, getting a little better and better and better for him.
Hopefully they'll keep improving.
Sorry about that.
That's good news, Chris. It was concerned one of his queens didn't make it back, but she looked today and saw it.
Awesome.
Yes, Ty, Jasper does need a vacation. He's been on more today.
Yeah, he's in his terrible twos, I reckon.
Yeah. He's been glued to me for the last week, but he's just all kind of hyper this evening. Hey, Miss Lisa. And James Knowles.
All right. We got this young little 25 in here. Awesome, y'all. Well,
Holy, you can come take him for a couple days while I recoup if you want to.
yeah. Put him out one. Well, can't do that. Gator, if they say put him in a canal and let him swim it off, but
No,
the
don't
Gator
let
will
my
get him
baby
out.
get ate by a gator. I'm not that aggravated with it. I just don't particularly like being a chew toy.
Now we
Just hitting buttons on the phone.
that other old mutt, we got her tail put over there while we on this live, because that her and Jasper, they just play buddies and so on and so forth. But we hadn't take him to the river yet. Got to get him to mind a little bit better before we take him down there.
He does good on everything except come here. That's the only one he balks at.
Yeah, it's a dead stare when you tell him, "Come on, Jasper, inside." Just like, I don't know if y'all can see that right there. That's pretty much what it is. But ain't much been, I guess, too exciting around here in the yard. But we have.
DC, you didn't miss too much. Just Jasper jumping around. He said stupid YouTube didn't tell him when that was.
I seen you went first at 6 o'clock our time this morning.
Yeah, he
I was
did.
like, look at DC. He gonna get in there first.
He beat you, Lee.
He sure did. And but we've been, Anna's been kind of under the weather the last week, really, y'all. So she ain't been going to work or anything like that. She ain't been real happy with me making her stay home. we usually, everybody that knows us, if they see one without the other, it's, well,
What's wrong?
that's it. What's wrong?
Everybody thinks we had a fight if we're not with each other.
Mm. But see,
You get me.
Lord willing,
You
we're gonna get over this little bumper in, and but I kind of got, I guess, cabin fever in a way this morning. Just trying to get up and do a little bit of something around here. Going to check on the bees. I told her yesterday evening. I need to get out there and just kind of do a quick inspection and look. And my plan was get up early, do a little bit, then try to check on the bees and see what's going on with them. They all flying good. They bringing in the pollen real nice and pretty. So I went out, gonna do a little bit of cleanup. Got all them.
Somebody else was told to stay inside.
Well, gotta get better. I went out there and I was gonna tinker around with them frames and boxes. We had all that beetle mess with a week or so ago, and got out there and got to cleaning all that stuff up. Well, my goofy self, there was, well, two boxes that I'd had, and one of them, I don't know why I didn't put this in the one, but I had put that eucalyptus in one of them. What the other one I didn't. And y'all guess what done happened? Wax moths just had themselves a heyday up in there. And went out fumbling with all that. And so told me, well, try some bleach water. See if I can kill them rascals off with a good heavy coating of bleach water. Soak them frames for a few minutes and shoot, it kills everything else. Kills germs, viruses, mold. But it didn't hardly want to take care of it now. Well, we jumped on Bob's little live earlier, kind of explaining with him. It killed the big ones, the big wax moth larvae. But them teeny little old babies that hadn't gotten very big yet, I don't know what it is about them rascals. It pushed them up out of them frame. I mean, them cells, and pushed them on top of the cells. But it sure didn't kill them. So
It was very surprising.
yeah, because I was thinking, I pretty much put a gallon of bleach to probably 4 gallons of water, and I had it in. We got one of those big old construction wheelbarrows, old 2-wheel deals, and I was throwing them puppies in there, and like I said, you see them big ones pop up, and I take that hive tool, touch them, see if they're still alive, and they be dead as all get out. So I was like, well, hey, it's killing them big ones. Well, I started pulling the ones out, caught myself going to clean them up and spray that bleach water off of them, and I pulled the frames, looked at them, kind of like you just inspecting for eggs and larvae, if you will, best way to explain it. And I could see them little bitty ones just still moving around. So we had, I don't know how many biddies we had this year.
Way too many.
A bunch of them.
Way too many.
90% of them's them little old bantam, in which that's the chickens I wanted. We had egg layers before, but they just kind of, well, what really happened is they was laying too many eggs, and we couldn't get rid of eggs fast enough, and eggs were starting to go bad, so we got away from the egg layers. And I wanted to get into the little bantams a little bit. And
Which they're fine, don't get me wrong.
but them little rascals, boy, when they started laying and hatching eggs, they was hatching. I don't know. I think the most they hatched at that one time was what, 18.
Yeah, but then a fox got in there and got a bunch of them. About 6 or 7 of them.
So going back to my frames in the bleach water a while ago, whenever it's pushing them little fellers up, I just pulled them frames out of that bleach water, sat it down, and called them chickens over there, and they took care of them little ones. So it worked out. The chickens got their protein, and we got the frames cleaned up on that end. And was going to take and, like I say, get out there and bust open the colonies and see how they going. And we just, I wasn't able to get into them, anything like that. Like I say, Hannah, she ain't been able to help me on that end the last week with her feeling under the weather. So I just kind of, well, come about 12 o'clock, it done got so blasted hot out there. I told myself I ain't fixing to get in a suit and go to sweating double what I am now. And I just kind of aborted that mission. So, Lord willing, we get our work done. Let's see, I got a little old job Monday and Tuesday. I'm hoping to finish up. Everything works out maybe Wednesday. Get out there and get in the bees a little bit and get y'all a video on that. Yes, we will. You ready to hush me up? Oh no, I ain't gonna forget that. Forget our prayer list, but that's pretty well what's going on around the yard here in Georgetown, where we at. But like I say, we'll get into. We're gonna open up the chat kind of early. Now I did take and get up.
Oh my gosh, Lee. That's a lot of chickens.
Oh Lord, yeah.
We don't have any kind of market around here we could sell them that though.
Now the closest thing is the old stockyard over there. If y'all been with us pretty well from the beginning, some of you may recall the video we done where Mr. Donnie was with us that time, and go over to the stockyard. And while they're doing the sale at the stockyard, I mean they selling cattle, goat. I mean
It's a
hogs,
stockyard sale.
and you can go over there and trade. They have a little yard sale, if you will, that's off to the side out there, and they let people come set up on Wednesdays, and you sell anything from chickens to chicken eggs to.
It's like a little flea market.
And there are quite a bit of people over there that sell honey. We see several folks over there selling local honey, and that's in Jackson, George County, Mississippi. Little old community called Loosedale, or well, it's a city now, but it's just wonderful country people over there, y'all. I mean, you still drive down the road. It don't matter if they know you're not. Everybody's waving. Good, friendly folks. God-fearing
That's how
people.
we know we crossed the state line. If people wave at you on the highway,
Yeah.
you know you made it out of Alabama.
Yeah, folks. Even in our little neck of the woods, it some of y'all probably recall, but you drove down the road. It didn't matter who it was. You waved to them. Hey, now. And it's just a friendly gesture to folks, but a lot of people gotten away from that. But over there, they still carry on with all that, and we enjoy that. I mean, it's just
fun going over there.
And but as far as the market on trying to sell anything, no, I do not have anything. While you grabbing that, I'll tell the chicken story real quick. Old Lee kind of brought this up. Old family friend I won't make the long version of it, but older gentleman, Lord, he had probably about 40, 50 chickens, and the gentleman was getting in bad health. And he called me up. He said, Tim, I know you got a few chickens up there at the house. I can't tend to these anymore. You want some more? Come on by and come check out and get what you want.
He tricked us though.
Yeah, that joker, he pulled a slick one on me. When we got there, now he said he had 40, 50 chickens out there, and they was ranged from, I don't know, any kind of different egg layers that you wanted. But the deal was, you take one, you got to take them all. So 3 truckloads later, we get them 40, 50 chickens to the house. And all we had is, or we got out there, it's a T90 little old chicken pen. We kept them cooped up for a minute, and it just got to be too much with all them blasted chickens in there. So one day I just opened up the door and y'all have at it. You free range chickens now. And a couple of weeks rolled by, and then chickens started moseying out toward that highway. Well, we come home and we seen the highway had claimed a couple of them. Well, one of the ladies at our church said her granddaughter and grandson was driving down the road, and the granddaughter told her, said, Nanny, please don't tell them people that you know that my brother hit one of them chickens. And we kind of laughed it all off, and
He ain't the first one to hit one of them chickens.
sure wouldn't.
Long shot.
Her daddy had called us one day at work and said, somebody done hit one of them chickens out there, and you wouldn't believe it. They turned around and picked that thing up,
Sure did.
took it home.
Fresh road kill.
Well, there you go. And so there for a little while, we was known as the chicken people. But did it? Awesome. So one of the best parts when I get off chickens, we pulled in the driveway coming home one day from somewhere, and there were several of them old things out by the road again. And I got out the truck to unlock the gate, and all of a sudden I heard something. The best way to describe it was, well, before I go any further, the speed limit on our highway is 55 miles an hour. They run 75.
Minimum.
And when I was unlocking the gate, I heard something sounded like the breath being knocked out of it. And as quick as I could turn around, y'all ain't lying, I seen chicken feathers headed northbound on the road. Somebody done nailed one and just kept on going. And that pretty well knocked the numbers down, and that's whenever we started getting them little bitties or them little bounds. But Keith Larimore, brother, if you don't mind, can you kind of give us a little update? We know you had a blessing being able to read your wife a paragraph with your vision getting better, and things are improving. Please let us know.
We're still praying.
Yes, sir. So, while maybe we'll wait on Larimore to maybe kind of give us an answer. We'll go over our beekeeping prayer list. Anybody that's keeping up with us or keeping you on, we have Keith Larimore still on here. Mr. Mark Miller, he definitely needs our prayers, y'all. He can go in depth on what he's dealing with, but that man can still definitely use our prayers. Lee, how about you, Bubba? With your back?
Yeah, I didn't even ask him. I knew he went back to work, but I didn't ask him today.
And we also got
Ed's wife, Miss Chris. I hadn't seen Ed in the chat though.
no, and now, Bob, he went live late last night, way past my bedtime, but got up this morning and kind of checked out that live a little bit and seen James McNally looks like he was home. And he seemed to be in pretty good spirits. And when I imagine so being home, that'll put anybody in better spirits in itself. And we got
Miss Lisa with your mic situation. Last week you were talking about praying for your little honeybees. I hope things are doing better in your yard. Maybe you and what's your friend's name? Miss Deidre?
Deidre, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
And it was talking about y'all was gonna be doing some treatments and stuff and see if y'all could get things under control.
And the last one we got on our list here. Now I haven't called the man back. I talked to him, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday morning. I talked to Dirt Rooster. Well, I sent him a text Thursday morning, just kind of letting him know we're thinking about him and praying for Mr. McCaffrey, Randy's daddy.
It's rough.
He seemed to not be feeling well, and I know he. Excuse me, this doggone humidity got me messed up this evening. And Mr. McCaffrey was really, I guess if anybody needs to be put on top of the prayer list.
Yeah. Hanley's Homestead. I'm sorry, I don't know your first name. If you tell me your name in the chat, then I will surely add you to the list. That's a big thing to go through, for sure. No kind of surgery is good, but
What is that? Had back surgery?
Back surgery.
Oh, but Lord of mercy, that's. I watched my daddy go through that stuff, and whew, I could tell. PJ. All right.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I should know that.
I guess we kind of need to do like Charlie does, because y'all, I am terrible with remembering anybody's name. Whenever we pull up to say do an estimate, I'll ask her 10 times before we get there. Who are we going to talk to, and who is this? And even getting out the truck, I have called the customer the wrong name. Hey, what's so and so? And they're like, no, sir, I'm not that person, but do apologize if we get your name mixed up or something like that. But
Normally I'm better than this.
yeah, she can. She's my go-to. I give people a nickname in my head, and oftentimes I don't tell her the nickname until I don't know the job or so on and so forth. But
Chris feels your pain.
thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. There's somebody else out there. But like I say, I can give you a nickname. Remember who you are. I'll think nickname, but if you tell me,
might not like the nickname.
but let's see. Larry Moore, he got us a little. Let's see if I can get that puppy to get up there.
That's awesome, Larry Moore. Yes, that's more improvement.
Yes, sir.
Lee, you didn't give us an update on how your back is.
Yeah, y'all, if you, like I say, if you're keeping up with these folks on a prayer list, she'll do it. I mean, Keith is a prime example right there. Loving our neighbor, praying for them. The Lord listen to us. Sometimes it may not be the answer we're looking for, but.
Well, DC, I just assumed GL always stood for Gunline. And you put that in there. But he said, Tim, do you know what GL stands for?
That's just what I'd always seen, that Gunline.
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome, Lee. He said he's 98% better.
Awesome, brother.
Good deal. We'll still keep you on here, though.
Sure will. If there's anybody else, like I say, if you.
God, I'm waiting. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's anybody else, feel free to email us if you don't want to, per se, put your business out. We're not asking anybody to do anything like that by any means, but you know, there's a lot of people that
No,
say
we don't.
unspoken and
Yeah, I mean, we don't mean to like sound like we're singling people out and telling you to spill your life. I was just saying those two because they already shared details with
ooh, that's where we stand on that. And thank goodness we're hearing good results on things. So
everyone. Yes.
we pray it continues for everybody. But email us if you got one, gunlinebees@gmail, and we'll be more than
Yeah,
happy
I
to.
did put Cayman and Laurel on here. I didn't interrupt him when he was talking, but I saw where DC and Lisa had both said that. So we've got them on here too.
I miss that, I reckon. Well,
With everything they got going on.
oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah,
But we did put them on
yeah. I mean, y'all, we all dealing with something. No, it ain't. We all dealing with something. We just kind of we'll let that lay, as they say. But tell you what, I'll go ahead and
there.
well,
Put the link in.
I'll go meander. Yeah, we'll just put the link in. Like I say, y'all, I ain't had time to really take and
We haven't prepared this.
no, we haven't at all.
It's been really long.
No, let me go back to this here. I don't know, go here.
This time. Did you copy that?
No, I didn't. Yes,
Yes.
y'all bear with
You
me.
want me to hit the buttons for
Copy, copy. There we go.
you?
Bingo. Okay. Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Uh, but other than that, it's just been kind of slack. Now we had.
See what was going on.
Uh, yeah. Okay. So I don't go to.
See him pushing buttons.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push a bunch of buttons tonight, y'all. I'm just gonna try to keep it simple. So maybe we can avert the train wreck this evening. Uh, where's it going? Oh, we had those few little frames that we pulled out whenever the beetle situation went on. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks now, and between, like we say, kind of here we go again with life. We just ain't had time to fool with spinning those few little. It was 4 frames, so I just kind of really just been putting that on the back burner in hopes of getting out there and maybe pulling a few more frames off one of those deeps, but hadn't got to it. And while I got into my little cleaning mood this morning, I have no idea unless it was just in there somehow before we had brought that box in. But I had that deep with those 4 frames sitting on the kitchen table for the last 2 weeks. And while I was in my little cleaning mode this morning, I was like, well, shoot, maybe I'll get out there and just, we'll spin those 4 little frames real quick. Yeah, I popped the lid on that joker being on the kitchen table, right dead center, one of those frames. Wax moth larvae. So I just said the heck with it, grabbed a box, took it outside to where I did all my cleaning this morning, and figured, well, shoot, it seems like we in this dearth, or getting into the dearth. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and bees are going to be all over it. And that was about 1 o'clock this evening. And went outside last maybe 20 minutes before we got on here. There wasn't but just a handful of bees out there robbing those frames out. So undoubtedly there's a nectar source out there that they're pulling on, but it's not enough to, I guess, cause them to really start building out and all that. Now, I did see the other day going to work. This is crazy. This is the third time this has happened this year. The privet was trying to bloom again. Well, I tuned in on that, and where I was working last week, I'll see if I can get a picture of this thing, because y'all, these are some of the biggest tallow, or we call them popcorn trees down here. Y'all, these are the biggest popcorn trees I've ever seen around here. And it's crazy. Some of them jokers are trying to bloom back out. Since they already bloomed, what, 2 months ago and died off.
Yeah, but they didn't actually like come to full bloom before they died.
So I have no idea what the world is going on this year. Just like I imagine 90% of us down here that ain't had much of a flow. Now we've gotten more rain the last few weeks, and our temperatures have went into regular seasonal temperatures. Now this time last year in March, we was already pushing 90 degrees last year. But this year in March, we stayed high 70s, mid 80s, probably. I mean, it was beautiful weather for us. It seemed like we actually had a spring feel this season, not so much of a spring bloom, but the weather not going to extremes like it typically does. Because for us down here, we'll have it may seem like 2 weeks of actual spring from March into April.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty.
98 degrees.
Yeah, and it just makes that full throttle transition, and it don't get cool again until really about into November. We'll start getting below that 80-degree mark and staying there. And so I don't know. I hope they bloom. I hope the privet comes out, and maybe we can get some kind of late run, and the popcorn tree takes and puts off, and maybe we can get a good load off it. But I reckon it's just time to tell. And
Did you see these things?
we waiting on it, Bubba, just like everybody else. The only thing I kind of went into that a little bit too. On I know in Scripture the Lord tells us when we work in our land, every 7 years let that land rest for that season. let the land recoup. So in my world, that's the only thing I can figure that maybe the good Lord's doing. It's just letting the land rest and recoup for the next coming years. I don't know. Some people call me crazy or whatever, but that's cool with me too. But I don't know. We're gonna see where it takes us. And like I say, I figured it'd have been a full blown madness out there, but it was just, I don't know. I'll say a handful of bees. There was probably 200 bees out there robbing all that, but it took them well over 3 or so hours to really start hitting on it good. But we going to see. But y'all come on in, hit the button. Let us know what.
Come talk to us.
Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. But we sure ain't got much to, I guess, really brag on flow. And we was really, this year our goal was to expand and get to, I think our goal was what, 25 to get to.
We were just trying to grow as much as we can.
And
But
it
that
just,
has not worked out.
no, it didn't at all. We tried few splits early on in the season, and let's see, two of them took, we done 4. 2 of them took, one of them still here, one of them was beetled out, and the other 2, they just, I don't reckon them queens come back mated good enough. After looking at everything, the drone population was coming on full throttle, good, just like any other year, and it shut off. And I haven't seen hardly any drones out there since it went slack. So that kind of put a wedge into things on really doing more splits, trying to grow the yard. And we thought about maybe trying to do some more, but I mean, it's pointless if the drones ain't there to take and do what nature calls for them queens to be mated well enough to produce good colonies. I mean, we don't want to just go out there and start doing a bunch of splits and end up wasting a bunch of brood and have laying workers or really take and turn around and buy mated queens. We know where we could get some mated queens around here pretty close, but if we ain't had the season, we know the old boys down the road that's been doing their work and commercial work. Doubt very seriously they've had the drone populations either to really warrant going to buy some queens and doing all that. So we just gonna kind of ride it out and see. Lord willing, He gives us another year. Maybe see what next year holds for us, and we can advance on that level.
No, we didn't get to do any of that this year.
We had, there's some folks we go to church with, and they had got them some bees this year, and they was wanting to do it just more or less. They got a lot of family land, and they do their little gardens and all that. And we got, there's 3 queen cells still over there in that aquarium, and that's all we got for us queen cells.
CDC's coming.
Mm-mm.
What I was telling you earlier. But your season isn't over yet, is it?
Well, you're right about it. She did. She did say that, and she did bring up DC on that. She said, "You remember DC talking about, don't give in and give up yet, because I just said the season ain't over." But y'all doing this too. It gets aggravating. It gets frustrating, and at times you're just like,
Grr.
I mean, what do we do?
Yeah.
So now here in our yard in late February, no, it was Valentine's because we named her we named her Valentine. We had a queen cell. We went out there and it was on Valentine's Day, and we pulled that queen cell. It was like, well, it's still early. If they don't make it, so be it. There was two queen cells, and they was on the same frame. We pulled that, split them, made them into a little old nuke, and little old Valentine, buddy, she's getting it.
She is.
But
She's
that's the only thing we've had. I'd have loved to have been able to tinker around with my little poor man's incubator again. The last year we had, Lord, I think it was almost, I had counted 30 plus cells we got out just here in the yard at the house. And we had gotten several more from my buddy down the road, Lance. And we split everything we could split in his yard, and we done the same thing here. We ran out of boxes and equipment, and we was going to buy new boxes, we couldn't keep up with them. It just got to the point of, y'all, we ain't got nowhere else to put them. So if they gonna swarm, they gonna swarm. And I had to go back over there and count my little queen cells. I got them separated between the ones that didn't hatch and the ones that did hatch. And out of the little poor man's incubator, I think we ended up hatching about 21 queens out of there. And I think all but two took. And the two that didn't take, we had them in the all the little old queen cages. I forget which one's the JZ, BZs, I think it is, but the little old queen cages you put the candy in. And we took those little old virgins and sat them in the box, and they seemed to be taken to her. We sat out there a few minutes watching them, and y'all, we ain't no more open that thing up, and they just balled them up. So I guess if you get down to the numbers, it was 19 that took and those two that didn't, and we had the 8 or 9 that didn't hatch. But yeah, I'd have loved to have been able to tinker around again, because I just really enjoyed. Usually, whenever we get up and getting ready to go for the day, we're up between 4 and 5 a.m. every morning. But first thing I done was like a kid at Christmas. I come flying out to bed, go out there and look at come in here and look at my little poor man incubator. And y'all, it was cool being able to watch them queens cut themselves out of themselves. That's it.
It was awesome.
And you watch her chew herself out. And about the time she got herself out real good, we cage her and feed them for a day or two until we could get them in a split somewhere. And I tell you, we got so overwhelmed with hatching them queens and doing them splits. I had called Dirt Rooster last year and said, "Hey man, look, I will bring these virgins to you so they just don't go to waste." But apparently they was having a good year as well. And he's like, "Tim, man, I'm overwhelmed myself. Appreciate it." So we kind of got to the point where we just had to start. And I didn't want to do this. I'm just one of them. But we ended up having to just destroy whatever queen cells come after that, because we literally didn't have any more space to put them. And my buddy down the road, he didn't have any more. But they, we had a good year on it. But we're gonna try it again next year. And see that rascal. I didn't think it was ever gonna work. The only way we come up with that little old idea was, well, I'll tell y'all the story now since we own it. I think some people had asked in past videos. I had mentioned we had a bearded dragon, and I don't
that
know,
we raised from a little baby.
we had her probably about 5 years. We had her, and we kept her in a 55-gallon aquarium. So my bright idea, I'm gonna make her a cage and let her go outside and enjoy the real sunshine. And this first time in them 5 years, I even thought about doing any of this. So I got me some rabbit wire, put around the dog kennel, called myself having it to where she couldn't get out. Well, she done good
He
for.
promised me he had it where my lizard couldn't get out.
Well, she stayed a couple days. I put her out there in the daytime. Later on in the evening, I bring her back in and put her in her cage in here. Well, y'all, I went outside. She was gone out of the cage. I searched high and low for her before I even come inside and told Hannah, because I knew she was going to kill me when I come in with the information of she's gone. And y'all see that look right there?
So then we searched for another, at least a couple hours till dark.
Yeah,
I was not happy.
we never found her.
No, we didn't.
There's a chance she's still out there, but I doubt very seriously. One of these
Nah, she gone.
old bird or rat, snake, or rattler done got hurt. And that's how we come about the incubator. We had took and just cut some cells off, and we was going to do some splits, but the weather had gotten us that day. And I'm thinking, how in the world can I keep these doggone cells warm until we can get out there and do our split?
And then a light bulb went off in the
So
shed.
did
I had
bing.
been after him for forever to get the empty aquarium out of the living room. And he just kept putting me off. Oh, I'm going to do something to it. I'm going to do something with it. So, yeah, he was ecstatic when he found a reason to keep the aquarium in the living room.
Well, she almost had me one day. My brother-in-law come by here. He's a big old boy. She told Zach, she said, won't y'all get that aquarium out of here while you got your hand? And I ended up bull crapping her and my brother-in-law.
Straight up wide.
My brother-in-law, he kind of rode the story with me of, well, just keep it in here in case y'all get another one or something. If you want it gone, I'll be down here the next day or two and I'll help him get it out. So that's how we got into the poor man's incubator. I was like, well, I got this basking light, and she stayed, I don't know, about 80-something degrees in there all the time in that aquarium. I was like, well, we'll just try to see if this aquarium light or the basking light to keep them queen cells warm till we can get out there the next day or two. And it just turned into, let's see if they'll hatch. And
they do.
Let's see. I'm trying to read my little piece of paper. I got a piece of paper pinned up on it over there that I ain't took off yet. But I think it was about day 7 or day 8 was one of them first queens had hatched. So that solidified everything for me. I was like, oh, heck yeah, we own something now. And every queen cell we gotten last year out of that, we had stuck in there. And like I said, we hatched Buku Queen. And I did have a old boy tell me, I gotten on one of those on the other social media platform, the Book of Faces there, and posted my idea. Oh, man, I was excited about what's going on. Y'all check this out. Well, some old commercial beekeeper in the north end of the state here in Alabama fired me up one Sunday morning going to church. Checked out the comment, all the other people in there commenting like, man, that's a pretty cool idea. I have to try it, and different things like this. Well, that old commercial fella decided he felt the need, he needed to cuss me and call me a blooming idiot. And how do you say it? Just letting them queens run around and dilly dally in there, along with his vulgar language he felt he had to express. So
it worked for us.
it did. It worked beautiful.
We had really good success with it.
So that gave me even more drive. I'm gonna prove you wrong even more. I don't care if you're a commercial guy or not. And Tony said, well, it'd be something if it wasn't working. I can understand that, but it works. And we just we went from there, and I left that beekeeping community chat deal, whatever you want to call it, on that social media platform to keep from a little more conflict. But I'm not much on a man, we'll say, popping off at the mouth like that. Let me get off that.
That's a good idea.
But that's
Elaine said if it ain't broke.
That's it. I mean, hey, it works. Everybody's got their own little gig and their own little way of doing things, and if it works, use it, brother. And if you don't like it, you ain't got to do it. But if it works, hey, do it. Especially if it works for you.
I can't believe Bob hadn't jumped in here yet.
He must be still napping.
He was in the chat earlier.
Oh, well. Mr. Larry in here? There, yes, sir. Hey, Mr. Larry.
That's the first time I saw him.
J and D, it's good to see y'all too.
I haven't seen Miss Danae yet, but J and D's just coming in.
She probably ain't too far behind. Be on in here in a second. Trying to think of what else we can get into. Oh, doorbell's ringing. Let's see who this is. Oh, Philip. Yes, sir. Come on in, man.
Hello, it's not Bob. Sorry.
I guess it's going to slow down with that weather coming in here now again.
Can you hear me?
Bingo. What'd you say, Philip?
Hey, how y'all doing? You asked for Bob and you get me. I'm sorry about that.
Bingo.
Can you hear me?
No volume. Are you muted, Bubba?
No.
There we go. Okay, I got you now.
All right, buttons.
Yeah, for real. Our internet's lagging behind now.
Like I said,
I'm gonna have to order me a new hive tool, I guess, and put buttons on it.
Man, you're stuck with that one.
But how things doing out there in Texas, my friend?
Are you still in Tennessee?
No, I came home yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, I drove all day yesterday, but I'm glad.
Go ahead.
Well, I missed Bob's live last night. I actually went in about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and he wasn't on, and I was like, "Well, heck, that's unusual." But then I didn't go back and check it and went to bed. I'm kind of glad I didn't because they stayed up pretty late.
Yeah.
I needed to get some sleep. I was tired.
I don't blame you. Well, that's probably 8 or 9 hour drive for you.
It's 14.
Oh, good night.
14, yeah.
DC voted yes for your new nickname to be Buttons.
Yeah.
Yep, you're stuck with that.
Well, you was on some pretty country up there, my friend. I mean, that was a
Yeah,
beautiful
man.
spot y'all was at.
It was nice. Yeah, and it was nice. The weather was nice. It's it's not hadn't been as hot here today as it's been, but I hear tomorrow and next week's going to be back to over 100. But today it was only about, I don't know, 91, 92 maybe for the high. But yeah, how you doing? How you feeling, Hannah?
I'm getting there.
You look a little bit green behind the gills, but still pretty as ever. Your
Thank
hides
you.
are good.
I feel like a burnt chicken today, or this week, really.
Yeah,
But hopefully, we'll get some answers later this week and get back to normal, and I can get back in the bees.
yeah. Y'all put her on your prayer list if y'all don't mind. Just
Sure, absolutely.
we can get over this little whatever she's been dealing with this past week. We say we finally we had to go to the hospital the other day, and thank the Lord it wasn't what we thought it was. But the doctor said she had some kind of inflammation or something in her stomach, which she hasn't literally, y'all. She hasn't eaten a meal since last Saturday. The only thing she can really get down that doesn't hurt her stomach is like some broth, that type stuff. But she ain't been able to really eat anything because if it's any kind of solid or something like that, it's been getting her stomach hurting worse. So hoping this doctor's appointment Thursday will get some results and yeah, hopefully it's just some kind of antibiotic we can get in there and knock whatever it is out as far as what's causing the inflammation in her stomach. But
either way, I'm tired of being locked in the house. So they gotta do something, figure something out with it. But
yeah, I hope you get to feeling better.
I appreciate it.
yeah, 'cause she ain't been much on me telling her to stay home, but thank goodness her sister comes over during the day or my brother-in-law that they kind of stay and babysitter, I guess the best way to put it, until I can get back home. But
somebody didn't think I'll stay in the house just because I'm told to.
yeah. And women, they can be a little hard-headed, you know what I'm saying?
It's getting old. So what's up with your bees? What have y'all been doing?
Well, yeah, I went out today just to, well, I was trying to decide. I've got a little more honey, I think, if they haven't eaten it, to pull. But my main thing I wanted to do was I put my supers on that was from the country. I just put them on the different hives just so they would clean them up. And I was going to take those off. And I got around to the side of one of the colonies, and the super I need to take off was on the top. And right below the lid, there was a cluster of bees about that big, about, not very thick, about that thick. And I said, that looks like a swarm. It looked like a heavy bearding, but it was at the top of the hive and on the side. So I didn't do like Yappy. I didn't run my bare fingers through there. I went and put my neoprene gloves on.
Yeah.
And I ran my hand up in there and then pulled it down, and sure enough, a little virgin queen come walking out on my hand. So I had my clip. I had gone in and got my clip. I put her in the clip, and they say swarm in July, let it fly, but I'm just, I can't do it. I can't.
No.
So I stuck them in a nuke, and we'll see. I'm not going to let her out of there for a while, for a day or two, and then see if they start to draw some comb in there. They drew a tiny little piece of comb right on the side of the lid there where they were all clustered. I don't know how long they'd been there, but they were little white flecks like they'll do when they bivouac. And a tiny little piece of comb they'd already started drawing like they were going to build their home right there on the side of the colony. But I stuck them in a nuke.
Some people was like that.
So it's funny how they get on that box, like you say, And you think, well, are they bearding or just kind of, what are they doing here? And I can't tell you how many times we went out the last years and you just so happen to look on back of a box.
Yeah.
And there's a cluster of bees on back of that thing. A swarm that come in or come out of yours from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that, I guess they looking to move in somewhere or something, but hey, take everything you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I figure, the worst that can happen is she's goes off and gets eaten by a dragonfly or something. But if she gets mated, I'm thinking maybe one of my colonies, of course, I can't tell. Maybe one of my colonies swarmed and that was just a caste swarm off the primary. So if they end up being queenless, if she gets mated, then I can use her as a resource queen. So it doesn't hurt to. I don't have much equipment to put her in if they make.
Is your drone population pretty good?
There was a drone. There was 1 or 2 drones crawling around inside that swarm. So I did not go into my colonies at all, other than to pull those supers off. Of course, when I broke the boxes open and started pulling those basically dry supers off, bees went crazy in my bee yard. I mean, it was just a cloud of bees because they're like, "Oh, we smell something," and they just. So I put all those supers off to the side and let them rob them out. There's nothing in there to rob, but like I said, just opening the colonies seems to make them go crazy now.
You getting into a little of dearth, or you still got kind of a flow going on?
I think we're in a dearth. I did notice where they'd stored a little bit of nectar in one of the supers that I'd put on a couple weeks ago for them to clean out. So I decided not to pull that one off. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pooped, ready to go back to work so I can get some rest.
About the way it is.
I know, right? How are you, Tim and Hannah?
We're good. How about you?
Doing good. Just busy weekend.
Yeah.
Thought I'd pop in before I go get my shower and go to bed and say, hey.
I'm glad you did. It's nice to have another woman on again. Not be all by myself.
I know, these chats are just filled with testosterone, aren't they? We need more queens and less drones. It's time to kick the drones out. Let's have a female beekeeping chat. I think I'll start that.
Amen.
There you go. There you go.
It doesn't seem like there'll be many people on there, though.
Me and you and what?
Sarah, Sharon, Danae. Who else? That's about it.
Well, maybe there's a few more. I imagine there's probably some on hiding in the shadows, if you will,
Yeah.
back then. You women kind of, that's what we were talking about not long ago. Look, women,
I've been
y'all
watching that. I can't remember her first. I want to say it's Debbie, Butts Bees. She's down around the Gulf Coast.
Yeah,
I think she's in Mississippi. And she's pretty interesting. I've been watching some of her videos.
Yeah, I watch her stuff.
Yeah.
But
She don't get on the streams. Yeah. She's pretty bright. She's been doing it for quite some time.
Larimore said, "Don't give my wife any ideas."
We'll get all the wives of the beekeepers.
Leave. Now, see, who's coming? We have till winter, then you can kick us out.
I'm on my phone, so I can't really see the chat unless I don't know. If I hit the chat, do y'all still see me?
I think we do. You just don't see us.
Oh, I just don't see y'all. Okay. That's all right.
I think that's the way it works.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at there, DC. Hey, Dan. Hey, DC. Who all in there said hey to me? I'm looking at the comments. That's fun. Yeah, we put Apivar on Friday morning. We got out there as early as we could. It started pouring rain But I had taken my dog to the groomer, and I asked the groomer, I said, I really need to get in my bees. I said, can you watch him for just a little bit until I can get out there? So it only took us about 15 or 20 minutes to get the apivar strips in. They didn't look too bad though. So maybe we can nip this in the bud. And I thought we only had one colony that had a good mite count, but Didra said we'd had two. So, and there's two real good, strong colonies out there. So the rest of them are getting there. I'm just going to see how the apivar works. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping I
I
don't
hope
want
you
to
get.
lose any more. Do what, Hannah?
I said I hope you get good results.
I do too. I was hoping to do some splits and stuff, but there's not very many drones. I'm not seeing a lot of drones. Are y'all seeing drones?
Any down here,
No,
I'm
ma'am.
like,
especially
I'm not wanting to do any splits because I'm not seeing many drones.
Mhm.
That's
that's
what.
why we kind of stopped on most of the splits we were doing because we
Yeah.
don't have phones for them.
I just wonder if, because my hives had so many mites, I'm just wondering if those are the first ones to go. If they like beat them out and keep the
Did
stronger people.
Did you
Did
see?
I vape them also? Yes, we vape. I vaped them last Monday, and then we put the Apivar on Friday. So I didn't even close up the bottom of the screen boards. Um, I didn't even see any vape escaping out the bottom boards. So probably not that big a deal since vape goes up instead of down. But I am going to have to drill some holes in my bottom boards because I'm almost melted two of my bottom boards because I've got two of those Better Bee bottom boards,
Mhm.
and so I'm going to have to drill some holes. Somebody was telling me to get some rivets and put in there, some big rivets, and put not rivets, but the oh shoot, what do you call them? The open part of the rivet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about
The
like
tube.
like a bushing, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
bushing. Thank you. It sucks to get old.
You gotta be old for that to happen, Lisa.
It's just, I've moved so much information out of my brain, I think, to download new information that I forget stuff. But I think they're going to do okay. Like I said, we just got the bees, and then Saturday we went blueberry picking again, and I picked elderberries yesterday, put up some pickles, canned some soup, picked some cucumbers, and fixing to start some more pickles because my
Oh, that
cantaloupes, the one that I thought was a cantaloupe is a cucumber. It's going crazy. I've never had so many cucumbers. So now I know the secret is just to think they're cantaloupe and they'll grow and
there you go.
proliferate.
Do all the time.
Do
Hey,
whatever it
you can
takes.
identify them as whatever you want to nowadays.
Yeah, just self-identify as whatever they want to be.
I know, right? Well,
Yeah.
these are apparently the pickling cucumbers. I didn't know I had saved any pickling cucumber seeds, but some of them have gotten a little bit big though.
Yeah.
So,
He's talking about his garden.
oh, doesn't he have a pretty garden? I'm so jealous.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does. He got him a fine
Told him
setup.
I was gonna
I
take
tell
him up
you,
on her to come up there one day.
I know. It'd be worth it just to fly up there and go through his garden and his bee yard.
Yeah, a lady. We started working for her like 8 years ago now with like our business we do. But
Mhm.
we got to be really, really good friends with her. I mean, like
Mhm.
she's literally like another grandma. I mean, I love
Mhm.
this woman to death. But her and her husband, they have another home just outside Seattle,
Mhm.
Washington, I think. And they have like this little mother-in-law cottage, totally separate from the house. And She told us last year she wanted us to come up there and remodel her kitchen for her.
Hey,
She's like,
dang, girl.
"Come up there and y'all can stay in the little cottage." And I'm going, heck yeah, we can. But
Yeah.
uh, we're we're seriously thinking about it. But we got too many critters on this stinking farm that I'd have to
Well,
hire somebody to come take care of.
and yes, and make sure you get somebody you can trust because that happened to me. I'm glad that we got home when we did from Florida. A girl was supposed to come over on a Sunday and check the water with the chickens and the rabbits. And I knew that the adult chickens would be fine, but I had four small chickens that were isolated from the main group because I was afraid they would peck them to death.
Yeah.
And I had their food and their water inside the smaller coop. And I even got the chickens from this girl. And she was supposed to come over and check the water and the rabbits and stuff. And we got home Monday, and the rabbits were almost out of water. They had very little left. And the chickens, the four chickens in the isolation coop, had no water.
Oh no.
The other chickens were okay because I had fixed them a feeder and a water out of a 17-gallon mineral tub.
Mm.
So they
Yeah,
were
this
fine,
to be without water right now.
but they were okay. But you could tell that they had been without all day because when I got them water, they just flocked right to it.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. No, I
But
mean, I've got so many brothers and my sister, and like I live next door to my dad and sister, so they
oh well,
would.
they will take care of it. Yeah, family will take care of it.
But my my big dog, like I guess my serious baby, she won't let anybody come around. Like literally, I call it counseling sessions. I tried to get her used to my sister and asked her to come do it for me,
Uh
but
huh.
she ain't having it. Like she's just too antisocial, I guess.
Oh well.
Won't let anybody else come around. She's my main problem. I could get somebody
Oh
to feed Jasper and the chickens and the cat, but
yeah.
nobody can deal with that.
I'm sorry, my dog started barking. I went in to get some water and come back out and he's barking. Hush!
I wonder right now, Mr. Mark said he was going on the 30th.
Oh, Mark going back to MD Anderson the 31st.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, Bob.
Is that
Well, hey, I didn't. My computer's been acting weird. I fixed some stuff on my computer, and then Google starting to mess up, and I had to reinstall Google, which took all my settings and everything out of it. So I've been fighting with that.
Listen, you need to get on a normal sleep schedule.
Me?
Yes, I got a notification last night at 9:30 that you were going live. I'm like, what? I'm in bed.
Yeah. Hey, the people want what the people want.
It was only 9:30 when you went out, or 10:30 your time, Bob, last
Yeah.
night.
Well,
Oh, I thought it was like
I got an
midnight.
email and I got a text message. Hey, you going live tonight? And I was like, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I'll go live and went on there. So I actually just shared
yeah.
this out on my channel, so might be some more people coming out. I'm actually streaming on both places, so
Well,
Mm,
my
that's
phone
good.
is getting low. I'm going to leave y'all, and y'all have a good night. I'm going to stay in the chat for a little bit, but y'all have a good night, okay?
all
You
right?
God
too.
bless.
there, Lisa.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
So
Today, she said it was her fault. She's got to have her daily dose of Bob.
yeah, I was telling them when I came on, Bob, that I went on at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock and you weren't on, and I said, well, Maybe he's not coming on tonight. And I went on to bed, which I needed to do anyway. I'm glad I didn't stay up late with you guys.
Well, you remember I used to go Monday nights at 8:00, and because old Grayson there used to go at 7. He was doing this from 7 and getting off at about 8. And now that little joker done moved it up to 8:00. So I haven't been going on Monday nights. So I didn't want to, I didn't want to go live when somebody else is live at that same time, because, I wouldn't want them to do that to me. Like, I wouldn't want Cayman to say, hey, I'm going live Tuesday at 8:00. And then all of a sudden Bob's like, well, I guess we ain't getting no viewers tonight. But, it just happens like that. Yeah, he sent me what Sam used. I thought I said it in the stream. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Hold on.
Let me write this down.
Okay.
Zentari. It's Xentari.
And what was that stuff for?
Spraying on your frames to keep the moss from eating them up in the wintertime. He said he just puts them. He says what he does is make a 5-gallon bucket of it, and then he just dips his frame in there and then lets it dry and then puts them up. So, man, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have problems real soon with my bees. I went in them today. They were nice today. It was hot. They were probably too hot to sting me. They were probably just like, man, we don't feel like messing with you today. And I was having to put my third 5-frame, like it was a 5-frame nuke, and then I put on an extra box which made it 10 frames, but I only had 2 extra 10-frame boxes. So now I got 3 5-frames on each of those. I had a double 5-frame that was so packed out. I put the bottom 5-frame in its own box, and then in a 10-frame box, and then I put the top of that 5-frame in its own box right on. It's still 5/5 in the center with empty frames on the side. And I'll put it in the chat. Hold on. It's Xentari. Zentari. That's what he sent me. And so we're gonna see. But my boxes, I've got a few that aren't full, but most of them are getting pretty full to where I got to figure out how I'm going to shake them down. And I was thinking to do like James and Ian and all those guys do up in Canada, where they take the supers off and they shake them all down into the bottom box. But they have the benefit, it is a benefit in this situation, of being cold, where they don't have to worry about the swarming bees. I feel like if I do that and they've got all these slabs of brood, I'm gonna be catching them out of the trees in November, October. Christmas lights would be on Jeremy's house, and I'll be I'll be wrangling bees out of the trees. So I'm trying not to do that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need boxes. That's what I need.
Hey, don't count it out. You remember that day me and you yakking on the telephone right after you was starting to get your swarm lure going in November, but it was mid-November, I think it was, and literally on the phone with Bob, and boy, here come a swarm in.
So, I had to go capture one. People were at a Christmas party mid-December, and it was on the tree across the street. Most people are like, well, just let them fly. But when it's that late in the year, I'm just going to get them as more of a public service, I guess what you say. Get them out of the tree, keep them from killing them. Who knows, man? I don't know how many wild colonies are around here from my 5 years with having swarms that I couldn't catch and swarms that I went to pick up that you go back 2 days later and they're gone out of there. We probably got bees everywhere around here now. Repopulated.
I got Jeremy having bad signal like everybody else too.
He was,
Come on back, brother. We'll get you back in here.
and so yeah, I was just trying to fix my computer, and then Jose called me. So I was talking to Jose for a minute, and then popped over here. And let's see if I got, yeah, we got you on live over on my channel too. So we're yeah, I only got 4 viewers over on my channel. Everybody's over here, which is where y'all need to be. Y'all need to be right here. Sub Tim and Hannah, RTX and RTX Honeybees.
Well, hey, we appreciate you sharing it out, bro.
Mhm.
Well, it's funny. Your channel is, and I think one time on Charlie's channel, it gave me the option at the top to share it on, share this content on your channel, but it didn't let me. It doesn't let me do it on everybody's. So I don't know if it's a setting in the StreamYard or what.
Mhm.
Let me see.
I don't know nothing about that.
No, I'm still foreign to all this.
Well, hey, Steve. I should. I got to figure out. Man, I don't know. And I didn't have that many drones that I saw out there today in the colonies I went into.
Lee said it's a setting in YouTube, Bob, not on StreamYard.
Really? Huh. Because it asked me when I come into StreamYard, there'll be a thing on top that says, do you want to share this with your subs? I don't know. We're live on both places, though.
Uh-huh.
If you have a tech question, ask Lee.
That's it, yeah. Leave the tech man, sure.
Mhm.
Y'all started talking about swarms. I had to go look out before it got dark and see if I saw anything hanging in the trees. When I was in my yard today, the robin was so bad it was like one big swarm. So
Mine hasn't been robbing that bad. I'm starting to get little tiny flowers on the buckwheat, some of the buckwheat right now. So hopefully in the next, well, tomorrow, the 19th will be 1 month since I've planted it. So in the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, it's supposed to be full grown, but it ain't near full grown height that I see out there.
Well, I ain't never fooled with any of that buckwheat, but apparently it's a good nectar producer.
Supposed to be. They said you can get like 150 pounds per acre, and that a strong colony can bring in 10 pounds worth of nectar a day.
Wow.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, granted, I did use an acre's worth of seeds. However, not all the seeds took, right? So there's areas that it just didn't take, but the whole back is good. Backyard
landowners we got around here, and Philip, I got to make a correction, and you was right, my friend. Not long ago, we was talking about the cotton. It's just that one time during the season.
Remember,
Like
he
you said.
thought they did it twice, like early in the year and then fall, and you were like, no, I'm pretty sure it's once a year.
Yeah, I got to admit, I was 100% wrong on that one, but I did.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry, I didn't think I could grow buckwheat. I just threw out seeds and the shit started growing. I mean, I just tried it. It cost me $110 for the seeds where I got them, and we'll see what happens with it. Larry asked,
get some of them old boys. Like, I mean, if you walk across the road, you probably have to walk maybe 150 yards to one of the big fields they got, but they doing peanuts this year. But when they get done and they go to pulling them peanuts, I'm kind of tempted to go over there and speak with the landowner and say, hey, for your cover crop for the rest of the season, is there any chance you could plant something along those lines that maybe be a nectar producer?
Buckwheat is supposed to, if you till it into the ground afterwards, it's supposed to be a good.
Uh-oh. Rose up.
Oh, I thought it was us again. I was like, here we go.
No, it's
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we do have a storm.
Deer will eat it, Larry. Bob's got pictures of lots of deer coming around now.
Ooh, it wouldn't last long around here then. Local rednecks would have a blast, my friend, and I mean that in every both ways. You know.
Lee said Bob's funny freeze. It does always catch him at the most inopportune time when it freezes up.
See if we can make that the thumbnail for.
Yeah, that would be awesome. He'd get mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
Jeremy looked like he was saying he's getting out there fixing a
He said he was moving bees to cotton.
cot.
Yeah.
What is Mr. Larry? Is he down here now?
Mr. Larry, I think, is in. I call it Mississippi.
He
Everybody
was
else.
asking, can we grow buckwheat? But I didn't know he lived that close to us.
Mm, well, I reckon we could.
Oh yeah, you could grow it.
We can grow just about anything down here as hot and humid as it is. Except for apples. We can't do no apples.
Now her daddy, man, had that thing was so pretty whenever it would bloom, but he had some apple trees that were actually growing and doing good. And I mean, we down here, I ain't never seen no apple trees. But whenever me and her started running together in a few years, whenever them things were blooming, what do you talk about? A beautiful little bloom on those trees. But only 1 year, that thing actually put off a few little old apples. And I guess, I don't know if a blight got them or just.
But it ain't never tried to put them off again.
No, I think that little old apple tree just about done died off.
Lisa said she got a screenshot of this funny thing.
That's
Hilarious.
Next conference that we're all at, so everyone's going to be have my face on their shirt
Oh, please.
with some wacky face on it. mugs that got a wacky face on it. Everything. So
Hey Lisa, you need to email that to Lee because
someone just texted me. It's probably Lee with it or Lisa. I don't know if Lisa's got my
Do you
number.
think she'll put it in a community post? That's hilarious.
Yeah,
We better shut up because it's gonna catch us with a stupid look on our face one day. Bob will get his revenge.
them little old apples, they wouldn't. I'd say they probably wouldn't even big as a tennis ball, maybe. But when they did, I guess, get right, got a couple off there, they was good. But I guess our climate is just too much for them trees. Apparently, they do better, say, up where DC lives and up in the North Country, I reckon.
What is your soil sandy like ours?
Yeah, ours is real sandy down
What about
here.
peach trees?
These trees will go now.
Peaches, pears, plums, most everything but
Big.
apple.
Scuppernongs.
Oh yeah, we got some good scuppernongs down here.
Most people are like, what the hell's a scuppernong?
They good. Get your
It's
hands
really
on
good.
some.
I don't
It's
know
like
what
a
it's
big old thick-skinned grape that's a little bit tart, right? A little sour most of the time.
You're not talking about a muscadine, are you?
Yeah, we call them scuppernongs, but it's the same thing.
No. Okay.
Now, here at the house, the old timers say that where we're at used to be an old prison camp way back when. And apparently there was a quarter house or something, wherever I don't know, whoever was over the prison camp lived pretty close to where we're at right here. And y'all, there's some muscadine vines that are just huge. One of them as all the way up and then some in a longleaf pine. And we've been here almost 6 years, and I've yet to see a muscadine come off that thing. But this year, them babies is going. So kind of hoping maybe in the next couple of weeks, them babies get right, and I can go out there and go to shaking that vine and get me some off of them. I love them things.
I'll tell you what, since I started beekeeping, the amount of different wild stuff that I see that I used to not see in the yard, and everything, even aside from plants, I used to not have dragonflies, but they're coming to eat the bees, right? So we got dragonflies. I got lots of butterflies and all kinds of stuff coming around now, because lizards, frogs, probably snakes chasing all them, right? Now we got coyotes and foxes, everything right here. So it's like the food chain, right? It's just one of those things. So, but I mean, I see all kinds of flowers that I'm like, where'd that little purple flower? Wouldn't that, I mean, right up next to the house. I'm like, that was never there before. Now I got these little tiny purple flowers popping up. So mice, rats, yep, we had all them.
We kind of do the same, but you're talking about just taking and paying attention to the different floral now. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know anything about nettle and dead nettles at all. Like you say, then we started getting into this, but I had no idea. The old days, they would take that, y'all don't hold me to it, don't go out there eating none of it till you get it right. But it was either the nettle or dead nettle that they used to use for a spice whenever they cook. But
well, they used to use cocaine and Coca-Cola too, Tim. That doesn't make it right.
Well, you're right about that.
I ain't touching that.
That was their energy drink back in the day.
Lee said it takes several years for the muscadines to go. So usually 3 years or more for them to really produce.
Ooh, this joker, I'm telling you, the stalk on that thing is probably, if you did the circumference on it, it's probably about 4 inches. And I got frisky one day, and that one I was just telling y'all about that goes up in that old pine, I pulled and tugged on it a little bit. And I was like, I wonder if this thing will hold me. I climbed up that rascal.
Straight up went Tarzan on that thing.
I don't know. I probably got about 16, 18 feet up there on it. And I was like, nah, this is about far as I'm going. Now, come on down. But it held me. But like I say, this is the first year we've seen them put any fruit off.
Well, you guys see what color my honey is, right? It's pretty light. And I went out there today and popped a box I hadn't been in, and it is very dark colored honey in that one colony. I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. They found something different out there. So don't know what it is at this point, but it's definitely in there. And I will eventually pull more honey, but it's like, I'll open up a box. There'll be 4 cap frames right in the middle, and then they're just starting to work the outside. So it's like, just leave it on there till it's a little cooler, maybe. I don't know. Or I've run out. One of the two, and I have to pull it. But let's see. They only have a license to import cocoa leaves to get the extract, but coke chemicals are sold to pharmaceutical company after they get what they want. That's reading the chat.
Philip, you may have mentioned this before, but Jeremy has talked about how such a good year he's had with that mesquite out there. Do you have that close to you?
I've got lots of mesquite, but I think his is a variety, like a bush type variety, and mine are more of a tree type. So I don't think they're the same, really. They look about the same, but
How far apart are y'all? I know
Um,
Texas is huge, but
Yeah, he's probably about 6 hours away from me, probably.
okay.
If he's on the other side of Amarillo.
Probably totally different environment. Yeah, he just said I mainly have bush, but some trees.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So I guess it's that bush that's blooming real good out that way.
Yeah, the trees bloom some too, but they're a little more sporadic. I'm hoping when I go back out, I see a bunch of them. I hope, I hope it translated, but I doubt if it did.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it will. Him having such a good year on his end, it'll kind of
Yeah.
scare you up your way too.
Well, I mean, I'm happy with what I got this year, which is way more than last year. So
Yeah. I hope next year's better for us. We actually get some honey.
Have
Yeah.
you,
hours, yeah.
Philip? Have you been doing any splits this time of year?
No, I haven't. Other than the little natural split I got today with a little swarm that was stuck on the side of the colony. But no, I haven't. I don't know that they would mate that well.
See, that's the thing that I've got an abundance of bees, and I could basically take one frame out of each colony and drop it into a 2-frame nuke to see if they would produce a queen.
Yeah.
But you run the risk of, if I did that, that's 30. I need 30 frames, so that's 3 deeps worth of bees that I'm basically risking 3 colonies to do that.
A lot of people here do splits in September, right at the beginning of the fall flow. And I don't know. They may do them with mated queens, though. I don't know if they do them and expect the queens to mate.
Well, see, I could do that now. If I had the boxes, I could definitely make those splits. I mean, some of the colonies I went in, they were slabbed up with brood.
Yeah, I could probably do that too. I mean, our bees, at least down in the country, might go. They may go almost broodless, and when it gets really hot and dry. The ones here, they have access to a lot of irrigated stuff here, so they won't ever go broodless here. But yeah, my colonies are crawling with bees. I could easily do splits if I did them with mated queens. But I mean, where would I put them? I don't have enough equipment right now.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing, is if they keep hatching out,
and I'm trying to figure out how to take. I got too many boxes here at my house. I need to take half of them out to the country.
You can take them down here, and we'll split all these colonies.
Okay.
I'll order up a bunch of. James says if I make 2-frame splits, he's going to drive down and kick my ass. I mean, it is definitely night and day difference. Now, I still have some of those strugglers but I'm worried that they're, I hate to say too strong with no flow right now, but I mean, they're pretty packed in there right now. I should have did a video on it, but it was too hot. I was too sweaty. And I did something different today. It's a little tip. I felt I would try it out and see. Instead of putting my gloves over my jacket, I put them under my jacket. I put them on first and then put my arms through my jacket and Velcroed them tight. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of those gloves, my gloves have the little mesh stripe on them. And when the bees sting, they always seem to sting me right through that piece on my arm right there, right where my jacket pulls up. But when I put that underneath it and the jacket over top, when it pulls up, it never pulls up enough to go through that piece. So it worked well. I didn't get any stings today. So
that's good.
The bees were nice today. And I don't know why. They found something to forage on a little bit. But with all the rain, I thought for sure I was going to be shaking bees out of trees today. But it just didn't happen. Didn't have to happen.
Jasper?
That was rude, man.
Would Jasper fart?
Yes, he did. Good.
Gosh.
That
Hannah's
was man.
Hannah's just blaming Jasper. That's what it was. She's a good actress.
Blame it on the dog.
Them girls, they fluff. They don't fart, y'all. Y'all know that.
Get it right.
Called blowing you a kiss.
Oh, that was
Ooh,
scary.
that was rude, Jasper. Good night. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Good thing we don't have smell of
I
vision.
was a medicine
Ain't that the truth?
already.
It'll run everybody out this chat.
Yeah.
There's our train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry said they're seeing the same problems. Well, I don't know if it's a problem though. I mean, I don't have tons and tons of extra equipment. I did at the beginning of the year, but with the expansion now, I'm down to the last little bit, so it's buy boxes or something. So who knows?
Well,
I might have to I might make an order and take a ride next weekend up to North Carolina and pick up some boxes. I don't want to drive 5 hours round trip to pick up boxes, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
Well,
Either that or go down to Florida.
I'm gonna say, like the old lady says, sometimes it just bees that way, baby.
Right.
But we with you, Mr. Larry, on the goldenrod. I mean, the widow woman right down the road, she got several acres up there, but one of them was an old horse pasture when her husband was still around, and she don't cut that field anymore until pretty much, I don't know, come spring she'll cut it down one more time. But y'all, some of that doggone goldenrod out there is about 6 foot and some change.
Literally. It's
If you're watching over on my channel, the link is over on Gunline's channel. So you got to come to Gunline Bees to click the link to come in, like James and Brad and anybody else that normally jumps in, because you got some explaining to do. We got to talk about this, what to do with these colonies, because I can't go out there after a flow and shake all my bees down into the box, because it's going to be summer here for another 3 months. I got to figure out what to do.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, at least 3 months of hot weather.
The only thing I can figure to do is, and I can only do it on 3 at a time, is pick up a deep, split the deeps in half, and throw a double screen board in between them, and let them make a queen. Just make sure they got eggs in both boxes, and and let them make some queens that way. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't want to. Can't stay as all bedtime soon. You don't got nothing to do tomorrow. You work in the bee yard.
Give me a lot of work there.
He stayed up late with you last night, Bob.
Oh yeah, we did. That's for sure. Even after we get off, we still talk in the back room for a while.
Yeah,
Everybody off, Bob. It's like everybody was waiting on you and waiting and finally give up and went to bed.
That's what we
Yeah.
done.
I did. And I was kind of glad I did too when I saw they stayed on for like 2.5 hours.
To be honest with you, I've been trying to not go live as much. Not that I love going live. I love talking to you guys and everything, but it just gets to the point to where I know y'all appreciate it, but you watch some other streamers that go live once in a while and stuff like that, and they go live, and all of a sudden you see super chat, and I go live 4, 5, 6 times a week, and I don't even get enough super chats for the whole month to get a payout from YouTube at the end of the month. So it's like, when you see people that jump in your live and they're with you and they're they're building. The way I look at it is if we're doing a live stream and you come in, there is some advantage to being on the live stream because you do get some new viewers that you're not exposed to, right? Or that were not exposed to your channel, and it does help you grow a little bit. And to give you an example, old Grayson there had 24 subs when we started bringing him in, and now he's monetized. Charlie didn't have enough people. Now he's monetized, so some of these channels are growing and they're using, but then you go to another channel and you watch them people tipping people away over there, and then they come in and grow their channel on our stream, and crickets, you don't see nothing. And it's not about the money necessarily, but it's just like I don't know, it's like it makes you feel like you're doing a lot of extra work, and you don't really necessarily feel appreciated all the time for doing it. So
Well, hey, we enjoy them, man. That's what got us going and got us into it. Now, I will say these live streams helped us get to the
hours, right?
Yeah, we finally got over the 4,000 hours or whatever it is. Whatever that does for you, I'm not sure, but it has definitely helped. I guess whatever hours you got to build up on that end.
Oh, I know you do, Steve. I didn't mean anything by it, so nobody get their feelings hurt that I said that. I'm just, that's why I haven't been going live as much, is because, I'm late to work in the mornings because I stay up late on live streams, and there's all kinds of other reasons too, but that's part of it. Yeah, when you even when you monetize, it's nice to patch stuff on the back. Hey, I got enough subs to monetize, but you're not going to make that. You're not going to make money unless you really blow up, right? So to give you an example, when I started going live and when Brian Coper started going live, as far as beekeeping, Brian and I Brian was a little bit ahead of me in subs, but not a lot. And now with the stream team, man, his memberships have just went, up through the roof, and I get about 30 a month added onto mine, right? It's just slow, bloop, 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 slow growth. So don't know why it is that way. It just is. And
I think the only way you'll make any money is you get like what's that gal out there, Texas Bee Works. Yeah, I guess so. When it's always
bikini,
never getting stung.
Yeah, you start beekeeping in a bikini and your views will go through the roof. Yeah.
Or you'll get a lot of views if you do a lot of shorts too. You'll get views, but it doesn't really translate into anything as far as YouTube, other than you might get some subscribers out of it. But I find that those subscribers watch shorts. They don't watch your full content. They're not really interested in beekeeping per se. They might just be interested in, oh, look at all these bees around this feeder. Or we were talking about it last night. That little short that I put up with the trailer that had the leak under it, 3,500 views or something like that. I mean, and then I put up a live stream and you get 100 views, or you put up a video, you get 100 views. So it's like, yeah, the first step is knowing you have a problem. That's true. We'll call you Bikini Bob. Unsub. At least says you unsub if I do it in a if I do it in a bikini. But yeah, that's enough about YouTube. YouTube is what
I mean, we'd have never thought we'd never imagined we'd
have this many people watching us goof off.
No, and 600 subs, I thought 10. I mean, I was like, man, there's 10 people really watching what we do.
So people watch shorts. Shorts. That's funny. So when you started coming on these live streams, not the ones that you're doing, but when you started coming on the, Hillbilly Hives Live and on our stream and stuff, how many subs did y'all have when you started that? Do you remember?
Oh, I remember.
What?
Not that many.
when y'all gave us when Houston mentioned us that night, and y'all gave us the shout out. I think we had 2 subs that night, and it was Houston and Earl. Then after y'all gave us the shout out, we got to about 12 or 14. Then as we kind of started getting in the chats and, you know, talking with everybody and all that, that's whenever I guess the numbers kind of started growing a little bit more. But it was, I think, just coming into, you know, y'all's live chats. Then whenever Earl and Johnny and Houston had their little gig, just kind of everybody getting to know each other, and the numbers started growing. Then I finally figured out how to do them shorts, and yeah, the shorts got to be where we would pick up 4 or 5 here, the same thing back and forth. But then you go back and you look, and you're like, well, we picked up some extra subs, and a couple of days later the numbers dropped because I guess it didn't fit their cup of tea or whatever it may be. But the way I look at it is the people that's here with us now, that's family, I guess, in a sense, the kind of way we look at it. Y'all are willing to. Oh yeah, Lee took it.
Family. That's what I was trying to highlight it. Really think about it.
There it goes. We went right there.
I don't know how much. I've got a video with 67,000 views, and I don't know how much that thing made. Probably nothing. Let's see the analytics on it. See if it tells me. 67,000 views. It doesn't show me the revenue. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I hid all those videos, my old crypto videos, off the channel. But yeah, it's got 67,000 views on it.
Now, I think the biggest views we've got on ours is when we done the soaking the corn cob in the salt water and the bees pulling off it, and it's like 16,000. That's the most views. Yeah, we did get a bunch on that. Whenever everybody here in the beekeeping community pulled together and helped us out on y'all's live that night to get Hannah the new guardian suits and all that. Whenever we put that video out, it went, I think we got about 4,000 or 5,000 views off it. Well, hey, yeah, I mean, we still appreciate everybody that's here. But like I said, we'd have never imagined we'd even got 100.
It's let me see. I've had a YouTube channel since 2009. I started putting up some content in 2012. So 11 years making some videos, and only to be at 2,500, right? So just to give you an idea. So everybody ramps up quick, and then it kind of plateaus, right? So even the people that are getting monetized, it's a you get those people that are dedicated, like everybody in the chat that watches the videos when we put them up. And then very rarely, the only way it's going to grow after that point is if people that are watching your chat actually share it out to their community, because they've got some viewers that you don't have, and so forth, if they've got content. I heard that too, Southeastern. Heard that too.
Keith, it's easier for me to tell you what we don't do, brother.
That's what I was fixing to say.
We don't do major plumbing. We don't do major electrical, but anything in between, from decks, porches, patios, to
Roofing.
every type of flooring, remodel, anything in between. Whatever we can do to make an honest dollar in the construction world, we do.
How late y'all going tonight?
Probably about maybe another 20 minutes or so, y'all. let her
Yeah, I'm
get
not gonna
rested
last
up.
much longer.
Yeah, y'all got work tomorrow. So do I. I got a meeting in the morning.
One of us is working and one of us is grounded. We're getting really tired of it.
We got to get y'all a dishwasher. I was probing Tim yesterday on the phone, like, y'all got electrical plumbed up. I mean, is electrical under there for your dishwasher? No, I don't believe it is. Is plumbing under there for your dishwasher? No, I don't believe it is. I'm like, well, we got to fix that.
Look, I had it lined out. Look, I've been working construction with him just long enough to have a tiny bit of sense about it. I had a plan. There's a cabinet right beside the plumbing, right beside the sink, where he could easily slide the dishwasher
But
in.
you know what? Depending on what kind of sink you had back in the 70s, and I think they still make it, they made one that sat off to the side that you rolled up. It had like a butcher block top on it. You just rolled it up to your sink and hooked it up to the water and plugged it in.
Yeah.
Turned it on.
My mom had one of those. Yep.
So
Y'all gonna have me working in the house getting dishwashers. Y'all keep on with that dishwasher stuff.
just think how happy you'll make your wife.
Oh, she would be ecstatic.
That's just, I pulled them old timers. That's just a waste of water and waste of electricity running that thing for two people.
Yeah.
But then she's
He
going to turn.
changes his tune when I go on strike and he has to wash dishes. Then it's all, oh, I didn't know two people could use this many dishes.
Then you'll say, well, I'm going on strike. Now you got to go buy stuff in like catfish dinners all the time.
I told him that as hungry as I've been, like that's the first thing we're doing when I get over all this. We're going to the catfish house and eating a catfish dinner.
See, Jim down here says for two people they are totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to believe that Tim's a lot like me. If it wasn't for you, Hannah, he'd probably still be eating off paper plates.
Yeah, I would. I ain't fixing to do all that. I'll throw that junk in the garbage.
Microwave and good to go.
I really feel like it's just proof that the Lord has a sense of humor. Growing up, like it was me and my sister. We're the only girls in my huge family. So our job was doing the dishes and cleaning the bathroom. So as soon as I started working, I got my first job 2 weeks after I turned 16 and got a vehicle. And I started paying her to do my chores. I was like, I'm out. But the whole time, growing up doing dishes, I would gripe and complain, and I swore, like literally, y'all, I swore I would never own a dish. I told my mama I'll have one pot and one pan to cook out of. Everything else is going to be plastic and paper. But since I moved out and I've lived on my own with my husband, I've washed dishes every day of my life since I made all.
See, now you just need an air fryer and some paper plates. You can handle everything.
I got an air fryer, just no paper plates.
I think we'll look into some paper plates
Before you look into a dishwasher. Yeah.
150 gallons of honey or 150 pounds of honey? Because if you're selling 150 gallons of honey for $3 a gallon, you bring it right to my house. I'm buying all of it.
Well, he said he put in the chat a little while ago.
I think he said $3 a pound, right?
Once. Oh, 1,800 pounds?
1,800 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, $3 is too cheap because it sold so fast. That's what tells you It's too cheap.
Well, here 5-gallon pails are around $225, $200, $225 for a
60.
5-gallon pail, and that's 12.
Yeah.
So let's do that math. Let me pull up my
He said it's
calculator.
$3.75 a gallon. He already did the math. Or where he's at, it's
Okay.
$3.75.
$3.75 a gallon.
Mhm.
$3.75 a pound, right? Yeah, a pound. I think he meant a pound. $3.75 a pound.
Whew, I don't want to give you no wrong numbers there, brother, on that. I say get what you can get for it. And
But the guy wants 30 buckets of honey.
Yeah, he's probably a bottler processor.
Either that or a baker or a bottler, as
Yeah,
far
probably.
as like mead or something like that, a winery.
Rosie said she'll have you in one in the dishwasher.
The
I think Bob Benny pays like $2.50 for it.
yeah, 55-gallon drums.
Yeah.
Napkins over the sink.
The yeah, I know a little bit of insight of what's going to be happening, but I can't put it out on the deal there. So with Cayman, so it'll it's going to be interesting. We just all
Doesn't
have to wait together.
matter.
Some people will be happy, some people won't be happy. I'm happy in one sense and unhappy in another sense.
well, I wasn't going to touch on the subject, but I know a lot of people is
Well, you never get the whole story, right? You only know it's a he said, she said, and Cayman has taken the high road and keeping his business separate from his YouTube, and Dustin didn't go down that road. So it is
that's
what
what I was going to say. That I mean, some folks like to talk and hear themselves heard. I'm not one of them, and
that must be me. That's why I go live all the time.
but don't put
Your business out.
don't put your business out there until I mean it. Really, it's nobody's business. What them two men have going on with whatever it is, that's their business. Whatever happened between them, they need to settle out within themselves.
Yeah.
Then, once things get settled out, if you want to talk, do so. But it's just best sometimes to keep your mouth shut until things are said and done and over with. That way you yourself don't put yourself in a bind anywhere, because people will use that against you, whether you did right or whether you did wrong. Sometimes the truth will be twisted, if you will.
Thank you, Jose. Look,
Hey,
I made a super chat on your live stream. I didn't even make one on my own.
half that with me, Bob. Half that with me. I'm just picking, brother. I promise.
But yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you got two young fellas that probably ain't been in business before that are figuring things out as they go, and is what it is. I've had a business that's failed before. Anybody that's been in business has probably had a business that has not succeeded at some point in their life, and it's never fun, right? Even if you're in it by yourself, it's not fun. So for me, it's not even about the money. It would, if they're as good of friends as what they have both claimed that they've been friends since they were little, then to me, that's the biggest part of it that sucks, right? Is that you're losing a friend that you've been friends with your whole life over a business, and the business was not failing. That's the whole thing. The business was succeeding.
Yep. Hey, Todd.
It's a brick
Good evening.
house.
Um,
It's mate. We're letting it all hang out.
Man, my
Todd, what's
backgrounds really suck.
Need to
I
get
don't
you
know,
a
but I'm
green
having
screen.
computer problems too.
Well,
Picking
I
up
took
part of
my
couch.
water cooler out and flipped it around and turned on something in the BIOS. And when I turn it on to speed my RAM up because it's not operating at the appropriate speed, then it ends up glitching out. Only Google is the only thing that messes up when I do it. So I had to fix it.
I'm gonna fix this. Hang on. There. Blurry is better than nothing.
There you go.
Looks like Andrew Munn
Okay.
now. That's how he does his background, blurry background.
What's up, Jose?
I talked to Jose,
Jose and I had a conversation today too.
and then he called me about y'all's conversation. And then I was working on my computer,
no.
didn't get the phone, and he bought it elsewhere.
Mm,
But he bought it from somebody that buys it from me, so it works out in the end. It trickle
okay.
down economics there. So
See, I sent him your way.
oh well, I got some bad news on that too. So we're gonna see how this plays out. But my days, I love Apis, but my days with Apis might be numbered. But we'll see because I can't sell Apis on Amazon, right? I only sell Apis through my website and to dealers in my area. So if you order from my website, yeah, you're buying it from me. If you're a store in my area that buys it, you're buying it from me. But there's a super huge dealer that has picked it up that will pretty much probably shut my website down as far as Apis Biologics. So we'll see how that works, because that person also has a huge distributor network. So if you're already buying all of your stuff from that place to run your store, it's just another item you're going to be buying from that place for your store. So we'll see how it happens. And, if it...
Hey, me and you need to square up on that other packet.
I'm not going to go out and leave you hanging.
Oh no, but actually, I want to see if I could send it back and get the bigger bag.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just want me to? You're just going to mail it back and want me to send you one of the bigger bags for the two smaller bags?
Yeah, and I'll pay. I'll send back the bag and then pay the difference, and then
just send it back and I'll ship you one out. No problem.
Okay, doke.
We'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about the shipping on it.
Maybe somebody could tell us. I don't know, but isn't there, like, I guess some businesses that will promote, your website, get it out there on the internet more?
Well, the thing is, when you come to my website, I've got like 5 items I sell, right? So it's like, most of that does come from YouTube, people on YouTube that buy from me and stuff like that. And dealers, I do have dealers that buy it, but a lot of them bought at Hive Life and then haven't bought it since, right? So it's one of those things. We'll just see how it goes. And the thing is, the way I feel about it, and I'm not upset with them. I mean, it's business, right? It's not checkers. So when you start out, you start with whoever you can get to get your product going. And then as you grow, well, then it's more of a hassle to send it to 50 people than it is to send to one guy or 5 guys, right? So that's kind of the dilemma I'm at, because I know for a fact I've spent probably over $10,000 in Apis products this year. And so, yeah, So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this other company, and then they have that company has made a decision, which makes me, as my company, have to make a decision. So we'll see how it goes.
Excuse me, Tim and Hannah.
Dude, but I'm about to call it a night. Okay. I hope y'all
Right.
good
Hey,
rest of the weekend.
I wanted to say hello, Miss Hannah and Tim. How you doing, brother?
We fair to middling, as they say.
Yep.
We trucking along. Appreciate you
I don't
asking.
mean to jump off as soon as you get on, but I'm about wore out for the night.
I hear you. I heard. I was
Ciao.
cooking when Tim was talking about what was going on. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll talk to y'all soon, okay?
All right.
Y'all
Good night.
take care.
Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anything over here.
Well, Todd, didn't you have a good season out there on your honey?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be worse than it was, but I'll take it. I'll take anything at this point, just like everybody else. I had a little problem with where it's going to go. Those people are not buying now all of a sudden through the farm, so now I'm stuck with doing it myself, which is all right. I don't mind. So I've got 500 more pounds to bottle, and
You might can send it to Mark. Mark's selling it by the damn truckload.
I know. Hey, no kidding. I looked on Facebook Marketplace yesterday, and there's a guy around here that's selling this year's sage honey crop for, get this, $200 for a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm thinking, man, that's $60. You sell those bottles for $10 each, and you're making $400 profit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how good the honey is, but it's light honey, I think.
Well, it is less work to sell it in bulk, right? And then you're just done with it.
I mean,
You're
he's
just not
selling it.
making as much per pound.
Yeah, he's selling it really cheap. But I don't know. But yeah, it's it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to be building a pail warmer this year and putting a couple buckets in there.
Yeah, I got to do that too, Todd.
Send me the blueprints.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
If Vivor ever get them in, they got the bucket warmers for like $79.
You talking about the wraparound ones?
Mm-hmm. The bee blanket
Yeah.
one.
I need a box.
Yeah, I've heard that those work, but you got to be careful. They'll cook your honey if you're not.
Well, you don't have a bottling tank, Todd?
No, I do not.
I don't either.
The honey just gets in my way. I want to do pollination, really. I don't want to do too much honey. I don't mind doing some honey and giving it away to people, but I don't want to sell it unless I have to.
Just fine.
Yeah, how about if I ship a 5-gallon bucket your way, Bob?
You're in California, so
60 pounds.
find you a winery.
Well, there are some breweries around here I got to go talk to. See if they want to do anything with it.
Maybe find you a peanut farmer that does honey roasted peanuts.
Yeah. Well, there are no peanuts around here. They don't grow them over here, as far as I know.
You guys grow everything else out there, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Well,
See,
it's like somebody mentioned a bakery or somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
we got a bunch of
possibility.
tiendas around here, right? Or I think it's called a tienda, the little Mexican stores.
Wow.
I seriously thought about labeling my honey with Hispanic writing on it and taking it to those little Mexican stores and selling it to them to put on their shelf. And just as a idea to see, I bet you they would buy it. I bet you it would go in the store. I get a lot of Hispanic people that come up here to buy the honey. I mean, all their sopapillas, Mexican restaurants, sopapillas don't they all have honey drizzled over them?
Yeah, the ones I've seen. I don't know. You know, there's a recipe out there that's they use honey for their asada. So, and asada is everywhere.
Horizontal Beast says Mexican stores love honey. Ricky says it. So I thought about doing it. I've got a couple around here.
Well, here's the problem for me. Not that it's a problem, but there are an awful lot of Mexican beekeepers in the valley here, and so I'm pretty certain they've got a, they've got a.
They got the
corner.
market captured.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So,
The
but I'll get rid of it. I'm not worried about it.
I thought about. I don't know. I've thought about it, and even if I didn't label it, if I just labeled it honey, it'd probably be just the way it is now. It'd probably be fine. But it's just a matter of the time, right? You got to go to the store.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to restock the shelves, and then I got to worry about if the bee police are gonna catch up with me, right? Floating in that gray area with the Department of Agriculture and the rules and everything. So,
well, you know what I did yesterday is I put a little ad on my neighborhood Facebook page, and people have been banging on my door for the last day and a half.
That's how I sell all my honey.
I know. I was thinking of you. I thought, man, I feel like Bob. Instead of honking the horn, they're ringing the doorbell. So, I don't know.
I couldn't do it today because it was so sloshy from yesterday's flood out there, and I didn't want to tear up my buckwheat. So I'll pull my truck down there. I'll take a photo of it, and then I'll say, "Hey, I'm out here from this time to this time. Come get your honey." And then I go work my bees. I just leave it. I mean, my truck's in eyesight of my bees, right? So when they pull in the yard, I just close the bees up, go sell the honey, and come back and multitask it like that. And Steve says he's on his last 80 pounds from 2022.
That's all right.
I think a lot of honey's going to go this year. A lot of people are short.
Well, and that's why I don't sweat it this time of year, because all of the, no offense if you got one or two hives, but all you guys that got one or two hives will be sold out, and then I'll be the game in town, right? So even Sam has a lot of colonies, but they're not strong colonies because he continuously splits and splits and splits to make nukes. So he doesn't generate a lot of honey. Where I sold a few nukes to keep my bees from swarming and then built up. So I'm, how many bees do I take with me for the sale? They just come. If we build it, they will come. But I haven't had that many people just randomly stopping. I even thought about asking Walmart if I could set up a table. You know how a lot of people set a table up at the front of Walmart, but then I'm like, but that's hot, and I don't feel like sitting out in the heat. So, and then we got some vacant lots coming towards the house where people pull up there with watermelons and stuff like that and sell them on the side of the road. I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, but that's hot. And I don't feel like, if I'm there doing that, I can't do anything else. So, then I just share that that photo and to that group, and if the admins of the group post it right away, approve it, then I usually get a bunch of people or people calling, "Hey, I want to come out this week." Well, great, come after 5. And Google, if you haven't claimed your apiary on Google, you're missing out.
Really?
Oh my gosh. The calls that I get from people. I had a lady call me asking, did I do apitherapy here?
Now, how do you set that up?
Yeah, tell us more
This
about
Google thing.
All you do is Google your business on, like, you put Loma Vista Bee Company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll pop up and you'll say, if it pops up, it'll pop up. If it don't, you can create it in Google. Let me see if I can do this. So let me see if I can present this. You know how to add it, Tim? Oh, you're muted, Tim. So
Well,
it's just like it. Oh, he unadded himself.
oh no.
Buttons,
What?
buttons.
Buttons.
Well, I just put in my name and it goes to my website. Or
I see YouTube and Facebook.
All right, so Google your business, right? And then you'll see it'll say your business on Google.
it doesn't say that on mine.
No, didn't say that on mine.
And
Mine has like my website is the first thing, and then there's a bunch of.
so you can
Are you looking mine up, Bob?
I haven't, no, but I will.
Oh.
Is it Loma Vista Bee Company or Loma Vista Bee Co? How do you do it? Bee Co. Okay.
Welcome back, Buttons.
Thank
Okay.
you. I don't know. It just popped up and said the server wasn't working or something. Don't push no buttons.
Loma Vista Farm.
Nope.
I see Loma Vista Bee Company, Beekeeping in Central California. That's your YouTube.
Yep.
And I see your Facebook.
Yeah.
And all right, let them know my location. But there is a way that you can claim your business on Google.
Okay.
Let me see. Like I said, I was messing with my Google today, right? So now everything's jacked up. Dark theme. There we go. That makes it better for me anyway. Tools. No.
I'm trying to remember how we've done that. We've done something on, I guess it's what y'all talking about on Google, but put the Gunline on there. But I don't know how to run any of that. I get a message every once in a while that says so many people looked at it, and that's about as far as I can get with it.
Let me see. Add another account. Sign up. I'm trying to find the settings, guys. Let me see.
No worries. I know you'll figure it out, and then you have to let us know.
Google My Business. Claim your business on Yelp. Nope. Google Business Profile. Get listed on Google. So you click that. Just Google google.com/business. It's free.
Google.
And then you go up to the top and there'll be a button that says Manage Now or Sign In, right? So if you click the Manage Now, it should come up and say your your business on Google. And then you go to business profiles or add a new business profiles where you want to start.
Okay,
And-
so it says get listed on Google, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm doing it on my phone.
And then it should say add a new business profile.
Well, the IRS will know exactly where I'm at.
Well, it puts you on Google Maps too. So when someone's looking, like I get businesses that are looking for beekeepers for swarm remove or swarms and stuff like that, they'll Google it. And you get your YouTube channel to go and Google your business and give you a good review, keep that number up, and you stay at the top of that list.
Did you put business category agriculture?
I don't remember what I put on mine. I think I put beekeeping.
Let's see if beekeeping is on there.
And then you can add your Facebook profile to it as well, so they can find your Facebook for your Facebook for the group.
They don't I gotta an error message from Google saying they don't understand beekeeping. So
You might need to put agriculture then.
yeah.
But I mean, when you take pictures and you tag that location as your bee farm, all that gets added to your Google. So,
I see.
Tim, can you add my little thing down here?
Bob, I'm gonna be honest with you. I better not go to pushing no buttons on this thing.
I got
I'm
you.
on the cell phone too. I mean, there's probably a way, but it'll probably end the whole stream or something. My luck.
But it has the map where you're located so people can find you, and it's got your, you can put your business number and all that on that.
Okay.
So
I can't put the farm because that's not me at that farm. I'd have to put my home. So
and it just, yeah, so it allows you to set all that up. So when people do go and start looking, then
I'll definitely have to do it though.
Oh, it'll go. Especially you start getting out to individuals, man. Them old timers and all that. They love getting that fresh honey.
I can't tell you how many times that I've gotten just, I don't know who they are. It's a random phone call to my cell phone, just asking me when can they come pick up honey, and even if I'm on my day job, well, I'll be back after 5 today, or you can come get it this weekend, or you can. A lot of people will cash at me money saying, hey, can you leave it on your front porch? I'll swing by and pick it up. And it's just, it's just another way for people to find you. And it's another tool. But if you haven't done it, yeah, definitely spend the time to get it set up. And
Okay. Yeah.
And then when you get on here, we'll make sure everybody Googles your thing and gives you a review, 5-star review, right? And then
So, okay, Bob, I'm setting mine up, and it's down to the part about add business hours.
yep, that's so what I did is I just put like 10 to 7, and ain't nobody gonna just drive over here. They usually call and say, hey, where are you located? They don't read the whole thing typically, but people will. I get contacted all the time, and they'll call you, hey, we got all those swarms that I was catching at the boat company and at the brewery and all that. And not only that, but all of those interviews from the TV stations and all that came because they Googled beekeeping, and I was the closest guy. So, so they came out. And so it definitely helps get the word out. It's worth it. It takes a minute though. It takes a minute to get it set up.
Oh man. I got up again at 5:30 to beat the heat, and it beat me again.
I'm curious how you say your bees are really chill that time in the morning?
Yeah.
I went out, I was like 3:00 when I was out there today in the middle of the day, and they didn't give me any problems today. And I was moving frames from one box to the other. There goes Tim again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get too much into them this morning, but there were a couple things I had to do. But oh man, I couldn't take it much past 11:30, noon, I think.
Right.
Oh, it just beat me down.
It got hot. No, I've been bumping it up. There's a few places that I still give a little bit of a, like when I go out to the car dealership with the guys I used to work with, they buy at least $100 worth of honey every time I go in there, usually. So I usually just keep them at the same thing. But I went up to 17. 12 and 17. I went up $2. My phone just notified me. Something.
Sorry about that, y'all. This thing keeps jumping back and forth. Going
You're
in
on
and
your
out.
phone, Tim?
Yeah, it's their own cell phone.
The
They have a mind of their own sometimes.
Well, these last few streams, it's like whenever we get a couple hours into it, it starts doing this where it says no connection. You got to refresh, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. And I know I've heard a couple folks talking about they've had problems with StreamYard doing the same with them.
Good night. Brian was selling pints for $30.
I hear you, bro.
That's because they're all stoned.
Holy cow.
$30 a pint. Is that a pint of runny honey or a pint of creamed honey?
Oh, yeah. He still needs to do a video about his creamed honey. I'm interested in trying something like that. Just for myself, because I love cream honey.
Brian, email us an address, and we will send you a cashier's check for that cream honey.
Runny, no labels. Holy moly. You didn't have to waste money on labels. Oh, by the way, Bob. Hang on, let me find the picture. I found you a label company to check out. I don't know if you've checked it out before. Print Place?
Print Place?
Print Place. So I go to this local restaurant almost every day for lunch. The owner is telling me he gets it's 1,000 labels, and they're oval. It was like 13 cents each. I can't remember, but I think it was 11 or 13 cents a piece. And they have the split peel off backing. You know, you
make it easier.
Undo one side and then do the other.
It looks like they sell a bunch of stuff.
But he said it's really good for him. I'm thinking, well, I might have to look at that next year.
Let me see. Labels. There we go. Custom labels, product labels. From $16 on a roll.
How much is in a roll?
That's a 2x2 square, so that's not very big. Let's see. 250.
150?
250.
Oh, 250.
Let's see if we do a 3x5.
And see his oval labels they're not, well, I don't even know the dimensions. I'd say about 2.5 inches, 3 inches up top to bottom, and then probably about 4 inches across.
He did like a 2x4?
I think so, yeah. Oval though.
Oh, he's doing an oval. Okay, let's see. Oval. I'm doing 2x3 ovals now, or 3x2s. 2 inches wide, 3 inches tall.
No,
30 cents a piece is what it's showing me right now.
Well,
On a roll. If you get them on the roll is easy, but if you get them
they were individual. He
single.
showed me the box.
Oh, that is singles. $76. Oh, maybe if I ordered more, it would be.
He gets 1,000 at a time.
1,000 is 10 cents a piece.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty good.
Mhm.
I might need to switch my.
$100 and you get 1,000. That's whatever. $100 in tax.
Well, my Avery labels are 14 cents a piece, and I have to print them.
I bought 1,000. I bought I think it was 1,000. Went to Office Depot, bought a 1,000 labels box because it was cheaper. I paid $33 for them, and then I printed them at work. and then the next day the cartridge had to be replaced, and we ran out, and I had to order another one. And then
But they do something else that I'm interested in too over here. They do mailers.
Oh,
So that might be good for mailing out like postcards to like beekeeping supply companies for my swarm lure, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Or it might just be a big waste of money. Don't know.
Now, who's this you looking at, Bob? For them label? What company?
Printplace.com.
Okay.
Bottle labels, waterproof vinyl. That's the ones that I usually get. Waterproof, gloss. That's what I need. Let's see. Let's go back. Oh, it's cut the size or roll. Let's see. Oval.
well, I tell you what, the privet was so thick a couple weeks ago, it gave me allergies, and I still have them. That
Need to find you somebody that got some good honey.
Huh?
Find you somebody that's got some good honey.
Yeah.
I just so happen to have a few pounds.
So cut the size, 11 cents a piece, full color front, blank back for a 2-inch by 3-inch oval. Like that.
Yep.
I need to redesign my label anyway, so it'd probably be a good thing.
They look to be really good labels. So I said, man, I've got to take a picture of that because I knew you'd probably be interested in that.
If you get them on on the roll, talk about a price increase.
Yeah.
21 cents a piece as compared to 11. It goes up a dime a piece.
Jeez.
But if you got one of those labelers with a roll on it, it would be easier.
Yeah.
It's still not bad.
You reckon those vinyl labels? Darren's asking something that'll hold up to decrystallize, and would them vinyl labels be the best to hold up against something like that?
What I found is the labels I get from Avery, I get the glossy ones, and they've held up in my truck sitting in the case, at whatever ungodly temperature it gets in there during the day. And it's worked for me. I mean, I've even put them in the oven with the light on and let them decrystallize in there. Didn't turn the oven on, just turned the light on.
Okay.
The was 36 for $250 when you buy 5. So you have to buy 1,250 labels. They were $36. But see, I don't use the standard label, right? What I found is most companies, when you order from a beekeeping supply company, they all look the same. They just change your name and stuff in it. And that don't matter to some people, I understand. And for me, I just wanted something a little bit different. So But yeah, so that's a good company. I'm gonna have to let me star this. Keep it up in my favorites up here. Of course, now it's just gonna star that label that I just picked out. Let me star that the homepage. But yeah, they do mailer boxes, brochures, print price, direct mail, print and mail, all from once. Get started with direct mail. Let's see how much that is. $85 setup and $24 for 1,000 pieces. That doesn't include the shipment and all, right? That's just the need a mailing list. Yep, sure would. They'd have to do all that. Well, that's good though. If you give them, hey, I need beekeeping supply companies, and they send it out there, right?
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Or could you just go to, excuse me, but say you're talking about flyers or little mail out pamphlets.
Right.
Couldn't you just take and like you get these old want ads, as Mama calls them, but put, resident of, and have the postal service just distribute them out in your community kind of thing?
Yeah, you have to pay them so much per, I don't know if it's per pound or how they do it, but yeah, you do pay them for the shipping. But when you do a service like this, they do all that for you, right? You just pay them and they do it all for you. So,
Oh, there you go.
I got 2 new products here that I'm, see if I can see there.
a little cut comb action.
Yeah, 3x3.
Nice.
And I got the scraps I made.
Chunk honey. That looks good, man.
Bars of chunk honey.
How much you selling the cut comb for?
I'm gonna try to do like 25 or 30 bucks a pound. So whatever these are weighing out at about 8 ounces.
So $12.50 or something like that.
Something like that.
$12.
Yeah, 10 to 12. I'm shooting for like $10 to $12 per one. And this, I don't know. I'm thinking 20 bucks a pound. Who knows? It's not quite a pound and a half. It's 22 ounces because I guess the wax is lighter than the liquid.
How much do you end up with, Philip? Pound wise?
I think I'm going to have about 700 pounds.
Philip is your chunk honey capped, Darren asked.
Yes. Yes, and I tried to put a piece in there that was not capped and not filled, and it just shoots to the top. It's got too much air in it. It floats. I guess it eventually settles back down, but it was like a third of it was uncapped and not even filled. But but most of it is completely capped.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to hop off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Sorry, Tim. I gotta get out of here too.
Yeah,
Bed.
we all gonna do the same, I reckon. Get ready for that work week.
Yeah.
But hey, we appreciate everybody coming in, chit chatting, comments, everybody. And Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one, I guess.
All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Good night,
All right,
Dave.
Later.
later on.